Hi, I'm Rachel Ford, and I'm one of the artists selected to paint a mermaid statue for the Mermaid Tale Trail. I have been doing art as long as I can remember. One of the earliest stories my mom told me was when I was a toddler, I would draw on the walls, and after getting in trouble, I would sneak behind tapestries and continue to draw on the walls that they never knew were there until we moved. So it's always been a part of my life. I went through school always getting small awards for art, so it kind of could tell that art was going to be my thing. Through high school, I was honored to be part of the National Arts Honor Society, and that's where I did my first mural. So as a collective group of students, we actually got together and did a public mural in downtown Crystal River, or close to downtown. It no longer exists, but it was a simple little sunset, but that kind of got me going on loving the idea of doing large-scale art. After high school, I went to Florida School of the Arts to study fine art. Dabbled in a little bit of everything that was fine art, from drawing, sculpting, painting, 3D design, relief, all those kind of things. So to this day, I kind of consider myself a jack of all trades, master of none. I just do a little bit of everything, but these days I mostly focus on murals. After college, I had some, you have to make ends meet, regular jobs, but art has always been my side hustle. So I've always been a commission artist on the side. I'm also a musician, so for a couple of years I was playing out at local venues, so everything has always been revolving around guitar, piano, music, art. But it's always been a side hustle, and after the last 4 years working for the Tourism Bureau at Citrus County, I made a lot of wonderful connections and learned more about business and the opportunities within our county, and so finally felt the ability to leap out on my own and become a freelance artist full-time. And it's been 1 year since I left the Bureau, and this is what I do now. I really, really love it. Most of my work is revolved around commissions that are mural-based and a lot of commercial art. So while it's not my favorite, I do a lot of signage. We always try to add a more decorative element to it, something that people can't get when they just want to go and order a normal sign. But I've done murals for schools and pediatric wings. I recently did PDIM, which is a children's pediatric location in Citrus County in Lecanto, that I did the whole wing. So it's got 10 murals, a different theme in every room, art going all the way down the hallways. And so that was a great experience. So a lot of my stuff is also residential though, so you won't always see it driving through downtown Citrus County in those areas. I have a lot of home murals. People get nurseries done. Lanais are a big one. People love getting their pool sides done, or even the lanai on the pool. Yeah, so this time of year, I'm really busy with holiday windows. Did not realize how big of a thing that actually was until a couple years ago, when I saw some holiday windows popping up and I thought I could try that. So I painted some windows for a friend and realized they came out pretty cool. And before I knew it, I had a couple little jobs lined up from on the side. So now that this is what I do full time, I put a lot of emphasis on that this year. And so I'm between now and December, a couple times a week, I will be downtown, Crystal River, Inverness, up in Hernando. I'll be all around for the next month painting holiday, glass art. I also play around with pyrography, which is wood burning. I bought myself a really simple, cheap kit just a couple years ago and tried my hand at burning into a bat house. Bats like bees, which we'll talk about in a minute with the mermaid, but they're one of my favorite creatures that I just really like misunderstood animals. So I decided to wood burn a bat into this bat house, and it came out, it's still my best piece today, even though I've made pieces after it. And instantly I had offers for it for sale, and I realized once again, this could be a thing. I should try to burn more wood. And so since then, I've made several other pieces. They've always been commission orders, so I don't have anything in a gallery for sale anywhere. Everything I do is pretty much by order or custom ordered ahead of time. My mermaid's name is Queen Bee. And the inspiration behind it was my love for bees. There's a couple different animals that have special places in my heart, and usually I get them tattooed on me, so I also have my little bee tattoos, but I've always oddly felt connected to them. Even when I was a little girl, I wanted to protect them, wasn't afraid of them stinging me. My grandfather was a beekeeper, and while I knew enough to respect, when he had to go down and mess with the hive, I just was always fascinated with the process, and all the recent attention bees have been getting in the media for their role in our ecosystem and pollination and keeping our food source alive. It's made me even more passionate about them. And they're just fascinating. I mean, honey is the only food that cannot rot. They find it in Egyptian pyramids and it's crystallized, but it's still good. So when you think about that, to me, they are such a life source that needs to be recognized and honored. So I just love them, and I wanted to turn my mermaid into something that we're taking out of the ocean and bringing it out into the land and the air, and that she almost has like a Mother Earth, very goddess-like vibe, and that she's just oozing with this life force of bees and honey and nature. So that's why I painted her the way I did. She has honeycomb for a tail, so that's another way of getting her out of the sea, no scales. And so at first I was just putting the honeycomb on. The honey wasn't even part of it, and then I realized it was like it felt blank and was left wanting. So I put honey inside the combs and had it, coming out to show that she's like bursting full of life. Her hair is also reminiscent of drips of honey. So I tried to use lighter and darker tones and fading and then even some gold embellishments to really give it that golden shiny look and the depth of different layers of drips of honey. And the gold on her arms and her face, it's very simple, but I wanted her to have a very regal goddess-like feel. So you'll notice that she's got gold bands, that very simple jewelry that she's wearing. And this was a very evolutionary process for me. As you can see from the drawing was originally done with leaves for a tail. And then when I was in the middle of doing it, I realized we have to change some things. I had my first lesson in an airbrush gun with this project because I was not used to the products that had to be used for the mermaid. So I went out and got myself an airbrush gun and said, we're gonna learn this today. And so that's how I achieved the effect on my honeycomb. Airbrush is definitely something, after trying it for this project, that I would like to get more into, especially considering that I think that will be a good tool for me to learn and just airbrushing techniques in general. The direction I want to go with my murals. Right now it's a lot of commercial art, but eventually I'd like it to be more street art, where it's not necessarily made to order for a sign or for a purpose, but strictly for artistic expression. So that's the ultimate goal, and I feel like this project actually kind of helped me learn more about myself as an artist and what things I still need to learn as an artist. And it's just been a wonderful experience. A giant thank you to Brooksville Main Street for sponsoring my mermaid, Queen Bee. She will be installed outside of the Welcome Center in downtown Brooksville at the Hernando County Welcome Center. And feel free to stop by, check out all the mermaids, and if you happen to see Queen Bee, please take a selfie with her and enjoy, because I will be too as soon as they're all installed. I can't wait.